Hi there, friends. I wanted to do a video today to show you how to grow an avocado tree from a pit. And I know what you're thinking. There's lots of videos on YouTube that show how to grow avocados from pits. This is something we did maybe back in school. We all did it when we were younger. And it's common knowledge. But the reason I wanted to do another video on it is because I feel like I found a way that is maybe a little bit easier than the way that I was taught when I was younger. And I also wanted to include some information on how to grow them. So let's get started. The first thing we need is an avocado pit. Make sure you wash it up really good. I just take a nice soft brush and I scrub off all of the avocado flesh that might still be stuck to the pit. This helps keep it from molding, which is pretty important. The next step you're going to want to do is take it and put it in a wet paper towel. Instead of using the toothpicks and sticking them in the pits and suspending them over water, this is where I think that this method is maybe a little bit easier. But you can go either way. They both work. I stick it in a paper towel. I have two of them I'm doing. And I make sure that the bottom is to the bottom and the top is to the top, because seeds actually use gravity to know how to grow. They make sure they put their roots to the bottom and then their leaves to the top based on what gravity is telling them is bottom and what is top. So this will help the avocado pit to sprout in the right direction. And then I stick it inside of just a regular ordinary sandwich bag. Again, making sure that I'm still keeping the top to the top and the bottom to the bottom. And I fold it over loosely. I'm going to probably add water to this bag, maybe once a week, once every couple weeks, but maybe making sure to drain it out each time so that they're not waterlogged and sitting in their own water. That would cause them to rot as well. So, and then stick it in a spot that's not a real sunny location. Pretty much any plant that's being propagated or whatnot doesn't like to be in a real sunny location. That can stress them out, so stick it in a not so sunny location. And then in about 4 to 6 weeks, what's going to happen is the pit is going to split, like this one has, and it's going to send out roots to the bottom and the stem to the top. When it splits and it starts having roots and a stem, it's ready to get potted up, and this one is. So what you're going to want to do is stick it in a pot. I have some soil in the bottom of this pot here, and put some soil around it. Another thing avocados don't like is to be buried too deep. When you go to pot up your pot, make sure that you don't cover the top of the seed. Make sure that that's still poking out. You want all of the roots to be covered completely, but you should still be able to see the little avocado pit sticking out of the soil a little bit. And then once you give it a nice watering, this is ready to go in a nice sunny spot. Not too sunny, not like outside or anything, but in a sunny window where it will start to grow leaves, like this one has. Once it starts to grow leaves, it really starts to grow quickly. Avocado trees really do grow fast, and they can grow to be really big. If you choose to keep it indoors as just a regular indoor house plant, it will easily outgrow your ceiling, depending on how tall your ceiling is. You can make sure that it doesn't get too out of hand by pinching off the tops of the tree. When it starts to grow and it gets to be maybe 2 feet tall, if you pinch off the top, which is also known as the node, if you pinch off the top of the plant, it'll send out side shoots. Once those get to be about maybe a foot long or so, you can pinch off those. That'll encourage the whole plant to stay bushy and small and compact, and then it won't outgrow your space so badly. If you want it to grow into a tree, you can. You can leave it in a pot and you can have it get bigger and bigger and bigger until it grows to be really nice and tall indoors, and give it a nice sunny location for it to grow in. That'll make it nice and happy. But if you plant it outside, it can easily grow to be, 20, 40 feet tall, because they are fairly big trees. We can trick them into growing inside, but, they tend to like to live outside. And be prepared to repot it, because it does want to grow in bigger and bigger. As it grows bigger and bigger, it's going to need a bigger and bigger pot. So if you leave it in a nice and partially shady location outside, it will grow and be pretty happy there, and you could end up seeing fruit on it in maybe 7 to 10 years. If you give it a fairly sunny spot inside, maybe like through a window, which is about the same as a partly shady location for being outdoors. You could see fruit on it as well, but it does have to grow to be pretty big in order for that to happen. So The other thing I wanted to mention is that avocados, they can mature on the plant, but they can't ripen on the plant. That's why they're so valuable commercially, because they can leave them on the trees until they're ready to use them. They can grow to full maturity, and then they can just sit on the tree for another month or two until they're ready, until the demand is there for them to want to pick them. Then they pick them and they ripen off of the tree. So if you do grow them, and you do start to get fruit off of your avocado tree, make sure that you clip them off maybe a week or two before you're actually ready to eat them, so that they can ripen fully before you go to eat them. So I think that's it. I hope this information was helpful to you. Again, I'm Frugal Green Girl. Feel free to ask any questions if you have any, and thank you so much for watching the video.